Hello, I'm EpiX again, welcome back to the Minecraft news video. Today I have some bad but rather important news to share with you all because for the first time since all of the Bedrock Edition platforms unified under one banner, there is a version of the Bedrock engine which is going to be discontinued, and I wanted to talk about why and how that's happening because it is a weird one that you might not even be aware exists, but it does have some ramifications because Minecraft has said multiple times before that they intend to support for editions of Minecraft for as long as they humanly can, and that's why seeing one of the editions go like this is kind of a big deal. So with that said, let's dive straight into it. You can like it if you do like seeing the Minecraft news and you like seeing what's going on in the Minecraft world on a day-to-day basis, but let's dive straight into it because basically the story with Apple TV so far is that the Apple TV was one of the weirdest editions of Minecraft they decided to launch. It was like in the Apple presentation, but it was one of those things where like, why do we need Minecraft on Apple TV? And they kept updating it all the way into 1.1.5, even including the marketplace, which meant that people could buy stuff on it, which at the time was kind of a promising sign because it meant you could actually get maps onto the Apple TV version, which was a trickier thing to do otherwise. And yeah, it meant like, oh, promising future. Once you implement these things, there's an interest in them to keep the game going. However, the Better Together update, which combined all of the Bedrock editions, you know, across your Xbox, your Switch, etc., never came to Apple TV. It was like, oh yeah, it should be coming out sometime later, and then a month or two passed, and then everyone forgot about it, and someone's like, wait a minute, where's the Apple TV edition? And then, you know, I made a video saying, oh, it looks like they've abandoned the Apple TV edition. And the interesting thing is, after I made the video saying, oh, it looks like they've stopped supporting Minecraft Apple TV edition, you know, first abandoned edition in quite some time, a lot of Minecraft staff were very quick to correct that no, the Apple TV is still getting the Better Together update. It's just going to take a little bit of time. We're just going through it, and then months passed, and then we asked again, and it's like we're working on it still, and then suddenly, effective Monday, September 24th, the Apple TV version of Minecraft will no longer be updated or supported. So this was posted by Megaspud. He is the Minecraft's UK community coordinator, and let's just dive into it, shall we? Because he says, we're grateful to the Apple TV community for their support, but we need to reallocate resources to the platforms that our players use the most. Don't worry though, you can continue to play Minecraft on Apple TV, keep building in your world, and your marketplace purchases, including buying coins, will continue to be available. However, we know that this experience isn't in line with the experience on other platforms, so we will be issuing full refunds on all purchases made within the last 90 days. For more information or to check on the status of your refund, please contact Apple customer service and so on and so forth. So yeah, that's a pretty huge change in tone from a year ago when it was just delayed to like, oh, coming kind of soon, to like, oh, we just got to deal with some technical issues, to, oh yeah, we're dropping it because it just doesn't have enough community support. It's just not where people are playing Minecraft. And that makes me question, I wonder if this whole time they were wondering if a resurgence would come, if there'd be some boost to it, because Apple TV is a hugely growing platform, but it's not a platform that anyone thinks to play Minecraft on. You know, like having an Apple TV is something that a lot of people are doing for TV reasons, but a lot of people don't think like, oh yeah, I guess I can play games on this, let's also get Minecraft. And it seems like they've decided to do this purely for sales reasons, and that would make it the first edition of the game that's not being cancelled because it technically can't handle stuff. You know, there's a new Apple TV every year that can, you know, handle stuff. However, instead, it sounds like they made the decision entirely on the economic reasons of just like, we're not going to make very much money. The amount of time it takes for a full-time staff member to be employed to make sure it runs on the latest devices and to keep porting it over there just wasn't making sense for them, which again, I find to be at least a little bit interesting, given that Minecraft is the biggest game on so many of the platforms it releases on. Even to this day, it's selling a lot of copies and it's being played a lot of the times. The fact that it went onto a platform and then kind of flopped there is an interesting thing to say the least. And again, like I said, because it's part of the Bedrock engine, it's never going to receive that Better Together treatment. You're never going to be able to play with other people on other platforms, and as a little bit of compensation, they're giving full refunds for anything made within the last 90 days. So if you bought the game, I assume you get the game refunded. If you bought any Minecoin purchases, you'll get those refunded, and it sounds like that's not a huge cost to them because obviously not many people are playing it. But what I think would be nicer than just the refunds, which I'm sure a lot of people will appreciate, like, oh, free money back to my pocket, would probably be doing something like, okay, so assume that most Apple TV owners maybe own an iOS device, or maybe own a Mac, release the version over there, or why not do a sale on the iOS version so people can get an easier copy, or why not give people who had Apple TV somehow a free iOS copy? I'm sure there's some magic they can do because it's all Apple accounts. That would be a really interesting kind of like way to bring them back into it rather than just leaving those Apple TV people stranded, because I've actually had comments from all 7 of the Apple TV edition players, and they're like, oh, where's this update? We keep hearing it's coming, but it doesn't really seem to be, and I guess now we know the simple answer is that it's kind of gone away. So that's the news, and let's dive into what a lot of people like to hear on this channel, which is the analysis and what I think about the weird elements of it, because there's 3 really interesting parts of this story in my opinion. There's the fact that they cancelled a Bedrock version, after the release of Bedrock and the unifying of things. Although this technically wasn't included in that Bedrock version, it is the first version since they started calling Pocket Edition and extra Xbox Edition and whatever else edition just like Bedrock or just Minecraft as a whole. So the fact that they've cancelled one of those editions using the engine in that time, that's an interesting kind of note by itself. The second note is that they're doing a refund system, and as with any other cancelled version of the game, you can still keep playing it, it's just you won't continue receiving frequent updates, which I imagine if you follow a Minecraft news channel, you might care about Minecraft updates, given they're one of the biggest pieces of Minecraft news. That's just an assumption I'm making about you. So again, it's like, it's still there, even if it is cancelled. But the third thing is their messaging on this one's been a bit wonky, I think. I think, unlike a lot of times where you can say, oh yeah, there's definitely a benefit for the doubt there, in this case, it really seems as though the official Mojang line, the official line that they said in response to a video where I literally said this exact thing was like, no, that didn't happen. We're still going with it. We're just gonna wait and see what happens. And maybe at the time it wasn't officially cancelled, but I mean, to correct someone on something and then be like, oh yeah, actually you were right about that later, it raises the levels of distrust a little bit in my opinion, because, you know, I made a correction to the video, of course. So I was like, oh, it turns out Apple TV editions is still going, and now this is like a correction to that correction. And it's like, you shouldn't have to do that. You should never have a company that lies to you to correct you and then actually goes on and says the thing that they corrected you for. And again, there is some chance that what actually happened on the internal side of things is that like, oh yeah, well, I mean, clearly they were trying to keep it alive. They were having big meetings internally about how they were going to do it, you know, and maybe they just failed in the end. But it does still seem like, you know, if you're going to say that it's still coming, you got to be somewhat sure, I think. So anyway, that's the third part of it. I'm sure it doesn't matter to most of you, but I think in terms of like covering this sort of stuff, now you've just got to keep in mind, even if Minecraft says something isn't the case, they're not necessarily right in this, you know, because what it could be is like, oh yeah, well, their department believes this, but a different department believes that. Bear in mind that the business side of Minecraft for a while seems to have been separate from a lot of the developers, because of, I mean, that's how a lot of games company works, but it seems as though like a lot of developers don't like certain business moves, and therefore you might see different sets of opinions that actually have different results in the end, and it's just an interesting time for Minecraft as a whole. I hope you'll enjoy this video, diving into the first abandoned edition since the Bedrock's release. If you did all like it, you can like this video and let me know, because it helps out the channel. Let us know you do like the Minecraft news, share if you really liked it, and subscribe if you're new around here with notifications turned on if you want to see more videos like this one every single day on your homepage. So thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.